Hello guys, I'm back from another video, and today we're talking about what if Deku was reincarnated into Genshin Impact. So, in the last video we talked about how after Izuku basically started fighting against Bakugo in their final battle between him and Bakugo, because Izuku finally got All For One, and being the protege of All For One makes sense. And after a while of fighting, and thanks to the help of Bakugo's friends, Izuku would be defeated. Izuku would decide to kill himself so that Bakugo can get all of the glory, because he sort of still has that, friendship with Bakugo, telling him to say sorry to his mother. And so he would kill himself after getting, stabbed by several rods from the Tokyo Tower. After getting reincarnated into the body of a child, more specifically the child of two random treasure hoarders from Inazuma, he would be, adopted into the treasure hoarders, or more specifically the sector of, treasure hoarders in Mondstadt. Or at least an area between, Mondstadt. So, after making it there, he would be raised to become a treasure hoarder, and so would be trained on how to fight, and also learn how to, steal. And because of his training back when he was still, All For One's protege, mostly about, hand-to-hand combat, and also self-defense tactics, well, it made sense that he's quite the powerful person, and considered as a prodigy. One day, when he was, bored at the time, he would decide to go on his own, and so stole a boat so he can go to Mondstadt. After arriving there, he would see a few boys fighting against, or at least bullying, this one little girl and another girl with a bow that resembles bunny ears. After protecting them from the bullies by basically fighting them, the girls would introduce themselves as Barbara and Amber. After saying goodbye to them, well, a certain, Barbara, aka, Barbara over there, seems to have a bit of a crush on Izuku. But unfortunately, he's not going to be a part of the, harem, because, after the polls, you basically said that you decided to go for both Amber and another girl, which I'm not going to be talking about yet, because, secrets. So, after getting back home, and after, somewhat being scolded by his, surrogate father and grandfather, he would basically go to sleep, and all of them would basically fall asleep. So yeah, that is basically what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next. We go now to about, now he's completely 14. Izuku's completely 14 now, and he started, doing a little bit more trading, and also started stealing more stuff, becoming pretty well known by the other treasure hoarders. But one day, let's just say this day was pretty memorable for him. Or at least, let's just say a little bit more, let's just say more of a tragedy, let's just say that. So, one day during his time, basically, stealing some stuff, and also stealing from, let's just say, a certain, house of, bastards, wait for a second, a certain, Lord's clan, yeah, let's just say they were not happy about that. So, after getting all of the treasure that they got from the Lawrence clan, he would basically put them in a large pile, thanks to the help of his, surrogate father and grandfather. After saying goodbye to them, he would decide to go to a little puddle, not really puddle, more like a large lake, where he usually prefers to hang out, by himself most of the time. Recently, during his, few years of basically, staying in this brand new world, he recently gotten this weird looking gem, which he's able to control different elements, or at least only one for now, and that element is currently Hydro. Yeah, he has multiple, he basically is able to basically, use multiple different types of, elements, like cryo, geo, things of that sort, thanks to one vision, unlike, not like, a certain, other type of vision, delusion. So, unlike a delusion, it's basically, just like a regular vision, but allows him to use multiple elements. So, after a while, basically playing with water, creating little like water dragons from his hand, and also controlling them to basically fight each other, he would decide to go back home. But when he did come back home, it was surprisingly quiet. When he decided to go into the cave, deeper into the cave to be more precise, he would see blood. Izuku would start to panic, thinking that his parents are going to die, or somebody's, dead or something. But when he made it towards the, mouth of the cave, or at least, the deepest part where the most of the treasure is, he would see a woman. More specifically, a woman with... Wait for a second. This woman seems to have reddish hair, sort of reddish. It seems to be more paler than usual. She seems to have pale skin as well, and grayish eyes. She seems to be wielding some sort of polearm, and blood was dripping off of it. He would see several dead bodies, including the dead bodies of his surrogate father and grandfather. He would feel angry, as the woman would look over, as the woman would say, I'm guessing you're the last one of them, as she would basically bring up her spear. Now, I'm not really the type to kill children, but it ain't personal. As she would start to charge over towards him, as something happens to his vision. The ground would start to feel cold. The entire area would feel cold. As she would notice this, she would say, why is it starting to become cold? Even though I use a vision that specializes in the cold, cryo, but how is this? As she would see the boy was emanating it, and she would see on his hand a vision. As she would say, wait, he's a vision? But before she can say anything else, Izuku's eyes would start burning with rage. His eyes, or more specifically, one of his eyes seems to be turning red, mostly the white part. The white part would start to turn blood red, as he would scream out, You killed them! After screaming that out, several shards of ice would come out of the ground, transforming into large serpents. As they would charge over towards her, she would jump out of the way, thankfully, but she would say, what in the... As he would start to create ice-like spears, and he would say, you killed them! As he would basically, grab one of the ice spears and throws it at her. When she see this, she would basically start to dodge out of the way once again. As this kid, Izuku, would start creating balls of water. As these water, balls, or I guess you could say Rasengan, because that is what he's about to do. He would start, spinning the water in his hands, turning them into a little tornado, or tsunami, or whatever you want to call it. As he throws it at her, as it slams into her, causing her to fly out of the way, and, slam into a wall. As she would say, this kid, how is he able to? As Izuku would say this, you, as his eye would start burning with hatred, as he would start to create a spear made out of ice, as he would say, you killed him! After screaming that out once again, he would basically start getting ready to slam into her with his, large, polar made of ice. But before he can, he was knocked out. He would basically get a chop to the neck, as he would fall down to the ground, causing the ice around her to basically disappear and melt. As she would say this kid, what the heck is he? Either way, we should probably take him, right? As another person would arrive, also seeming to be covered in blood. As he would say this, he's pretty much a treasure hoarder's child, or at least, I think so. It makes sense, why not? Besides, after seeing his little display over here, why not? This man seems to be wearing an eye patch and seems to have darkish tan skin. He seems to be wearing almost similar to a pirate-like outfit. Kind of. As he would say this, alright, let's go, and take the kid with you. As she would say this, fine, Kaya. As she would say this, or at least he. Whatever, Rosaria. Let's go. So, after they started moving, Izuku would start to say, he was fully knocked out, falling into sleep. So, Izuku I meant to wait for a second. Sorry about that. So, Izuku would wake up in somewhere different. It's definitely not the treasure hoarder's, little cave, but instead some sort of infirmary. He would say, "Mom! Dad! Wait a minute. Oh yeah, my mom and dad are dead. Wait, Mom! Not Mom, I meant Dad! Grandpa!" He would basically say, with an angered voice, as he would say this. "That girl, where is she?" As his angered voice would be heard, as a few people would basically run inside of the tent, or at least the little, infirmary. As one of them would say this, or at least one of them. "Hey, are you okay?" Izuku would look over and see a girl, and a floating baby, or at least he thinks it's a baby. This woman seems to have blondish hair and golden eyes. She seems to be wearing some sort of white outfit. Definitely not from Teyvat or something, he would say to himself. He would also look at the floating baby. Yeah, that's definitely the weirdest thing he's ever seen. I mean, not as weird as, a person with fucking horns and, pinkish skin. But still, pretty weird. You would see that the girl seems to be floating, and several constellations are basically floating, right beside her. As this girl would say this. "Oh, hello. My name is Lumine, and this is Paimon." As Paimon would say this. "Hi, I'm Paimon. Are you okay? I mean, Rosaria did..." As he would say this. "Who's Rosaria? Wait, where's that girl? That girl who killed my..." After saying this, one of them would say this, specifically Lumine. Hey, calm down, and, please try to rest. After all, you're still, covered in bandages." As Izuku would look at himself, as he would see several cuts across his body, as he would say this. "Ow. I mean, it still kind of hurts, but not as bad." As one of them would say this, specifically Paimon. "Yeah, Paimon thinks that you should probably get some rest." As Izuku would basically stomp over his bed, as Izuku would basically shut out of the bed, as he would say this. "Wait, where am I?" As one of them would say this, specifically Lumine. "Oh, you're Mondstadt." As Izuku would say, "Mondstadt? Wait a minute." He would start to remember Mondstadt, as he would say, "Wait, why am I here exactly?" As one of them would say this. "Well, Rosaria found you and realized that you're a vision holder. And it seems that your vision is quite different," said Lumine. As Paimon would say this. "Yeah, Paimon thinks it's pretty weird, but also cool." Izuku would look at his vision, and it seems to be, well, different. It seems to have two new colors now. There's two different patterns. There's a pattern in it, I guess you can say. There's a pattern, or a symbol. There seems to be two colors that are lit up right now. One of them seems to be the color of his cryovision, or his cryo powers, and the other one was the hydro powers, or hydro, or whatever. As Izuku would say this. "Well, I certainly am different. Ow. He would basically start to stand up, as he would say this. As one would say this, specifically Lumine. Hey, please calm down. I mean, you should probably get some rest after all." And as Izuku would say this, "I'm fine. I mean, I'm not as badly hurt." As he would basically start to, walk towards the little area, as he would grab a glass of water. As he would say this. "So, mind telling me, where's that damn bitch?" After saying this, Lumine is a bit afraid, including Paimon. As Lumine would say, "Who are you talking about?" As he would say this. "The girl with the nun outfit. The one who killed my father. And my damn grandfather," he would say with his angry voice. As both of them would start to pale a little bit. As one of them would say this. "Paimon thinks you're talking about Rosaria." As he would say this. "Really?" As he would basically demand them to basically bring her here, so he can have a chat, quote unquote. But before he can say anything else, a person would walk in. As one of them would say this, "Hey, honorary knight, we wanted to..." After, she stops, Izuku would look at her. She looked familiar. But after realizing it, Izuku would say, "Wait, Amber?" As Amber would say, "Izuku, it's been a while. Where have you been? And, whoa, what happened to you?" As Izuku would say this, ow, it's been a while. And also, what are you doing here?" As she would say this, "Oh, I'm just here for the honorary knight, aka Lumine." As she would basically point at Lumine. As Izuku would say this, "Honorary knight? What the hell are you talking about?" As she would start to explain the whole, thing. Especially with the whole, Dvalin problem. Not Dvalin, more like Storm Terror, because, Dvalin, Storm Terror, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm basically going to, I don't really know Genshin Impact all that much, even though, my cousin plays it, and I sometimes watch it, and I started becoming interested, and I somewhat, started becoming, interested in it. So that's why I decided to make this what if in the first place. So, yeah. So, Lumine would say this, "Yeah, I'm sort of the honorary knight, so, hello?" As Izuku would say this, okay. Okay, anyway, wait for a second. "Where's this Rosaria girl?" As one of them would say this, specifically, her, aka, Amber. "Wait, why do you want Rosaria?" As he would say, "Because he killed my father." After saying this, he would say, or she would say, wait, hold up. "Did you say that she killed your father?" As he would say this, "Yes, and my damn grandfather. So bring me to her, or I'll..." But before he can say anything else, another person would arrive. This person seems to be a girl with, a skin-tight outfit with a cape and blonde hair and bluish eyes. As she would say this, "Ah, you are awake. Please come with me if you're not hurt." As Izuku would say this, "Who the hell are you?" As she would say this, "Oh, nice to meet you. The name's..." Wait for a second. "Oh, you may just call me Jean." She would basically bow. As Izuku would say this, "Okay, Jean. How many days, or at least how many hours have I been knocked out?" As she would say this, "Well, it's, about a month." Izuku would basically be in silence as he would scream out, "What?" After screaming that out, she would say, "Hold on, why do you want to talk to Miss Rosaria, exactly?" As he would say this, "You know damn right. Wait for a second. You know damn right why I want to talk to her. She killed my damn father and grandfather, for God's sake." After hearing this, she would say, "Oh, I'm sure she has a particular reason for that." As Izuku would say this, "Oh, I know that particular reason." As he would start to crack his knuckles, as he would start flaring up his, cryo and, hydro vision, which, let's just say, Amber and, all of them are basically, kind of afraid of seeing this. As one of them would say this, specifically Amber, "You're able to use 2 different types of elements? What?" She would basically start to, be afraid of him. As Lumine would say, "How are you able to do that?" As Izuku would just look at her. As he would say this, "I don't know how, but..." As he would start to create a large spear of ice and 2 different types of serpents basically surrounding him, mostly made out of water. As he would say this, "If you ever find her, tell her to come to me, and I'll rip her head off." After saying this, Jean would say, hold up. "Please, calm down, and I promise, we'll let her talk to you, but promise me you won't kill her." As he would say this, "You won't stop me getting my revenge." As she would say this, "Please, just calm down, mister." As he would say this, Izuku Midoriya." As she would say this, "Okay, Mr. Midoriya. Are you perhaps from Inazuma?" As he would say this, "Well, my parents are from Inazuma before they died, so..." as all of them would start to, feel a little bit sad about it. As one of them would say this, "Wait, you didn't tell me about this before," said, Ruby. I meant Amber. I think because of, both of them having, similar, I guess you could say, personalities, I guess personalities. That is why I confused them. Yeah, so I'm just gonna call her Amber for now. But if I see Ruby, start the counter. No. Oh, god damn it. So, Amber would say this. "Why? You didn't tell me about this before. You didn't tell me that your actual parents," as you would say this. That's the reason why I don't want to talk about it. Okay? Anyway. Alright, I'll come to, or at least I'll, follow you. At least. As she would say this. "Wonderful. Now, come with me." So, Izuku is now fully dressed, now currently wearing his treasure hoarder style outfit, which looks like this. So, Izuku is basically wearing this, but don't worry about the weapons right now, because he's still not able to use them yet. And I mean yet. So, Izuku is currently going through the city of Mondstadt, which everybody is basically looking at him, thinking that, he's a bit, tough and scary looking. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Everybody looks like they're about to shit themselves just by seeing him. So, after arriving at a little, area, more specifically, the, headmaster's office, or whatever you want to call it. I can't really remember the actual name of it. So, after arriving there, he would see a few people there. One was a woman with, bluish hair, and seems to be, kind of well endowed, if you guess what I mean. And there's also another girl with a witch's hat, and also pretty well endowed, if you get what I mean. Oh, god damn it. She also seems to be quite tall and quite mature. A man, or more specifically, the man from earlier with the tan skin and the eye patch. And finally, a little girl. A little girl with blondish hair and red eyes, and seems to be fond with the red color. Because, she seems to be wearing all red. After, sitting on her office, Jean would say this. "So, Izuku Midoriya, I'm guessing that's your name?" As he would say this. "Yeah." As one of them would say this. "Ooh, hold on, try not to be so, pushy." As he would say this. "Whatever," he would say with his angry glare. As the man would start to pale a little bit, knowing that he's quite powerful. Especially with his ability to basically use, both the abilities of Cryo and also Hydro, but he's able to use multiple elements. In the future, at least. So, after looking at the, woman in front of him, specifically Jean, he would say this. "So what do you want?" As she would say this. "Well, I want you to join us in the..." Wait for a second. "In the Knights of Avonius." After saying this, Izuku would just look at her as he would say this. "And I absolutely deny it." After saying this, everybody was surprised, as Jean would say this. "Why? I mean, it would be great for you. I mean," as Izuku would say this. "No thank you. There's no way I'm joining you. Mostly because you're hiding that girl who literally killed my family, including my father, or at least adopted father, and my adopted grandfather as well." After saying this, both of them would start to pale, as one of them would say this. Hold on, kid. It's not really personal. I mean, it's after all the, Lawrence clan who basically told us to do it." After hearing this, well, let's just say, Eula was a bit afraid after hearing this. After hearing about, Izuku's, power to use both Cryo and Hydro, well, oh boy, she's terrified. And after Izuku heard that, he would say, "So, that Lawrence clan decided to order my father and, grandfather's deaths, including the rest of my so-called family. I'm definitely gonna go visit him and, let's just say, have a bit of fun with them." After saying this, everybody would start to pale as, Jean would try to defuse the situation right now, saying, please do not try to kill them, as you would say this. Why not? They killed my family, why not kill their entire bloodline? After saying this, Yulo over there is a bit, kind of angry, but also quite understanding about, well, the Lawrence clan being a bit of a bit. But, well, a certain, Gene over there would say, hold on. How do we have a proposition for you? As Izuku would say this. I'm listening. As she would say this. Good. How about this? How about you join us and we can, help you get your so-called revenge on the Lawrence clan. But try not to kill them, okay? After hearing this, Izuku would just say this. Fine. As both, all of them would basically start to, exhale a little bit in relief. As Izuku would say this. Alright, but... so who am I going to be working for? As all of them would start looking at Lumine. As Lumine would say this. You're gonna be working with me. As Izuku would say this. I guess so. Okay, so what do you want, Missy? He would say with his, a bit, comprehensive, I guess you can say. As she would say this. Oh, you're gonna be, kind of like a teammate of mine. As he would say this. Sure then. After saying this, all of them would basically, tell Izuku to basically get out of there. And also, for him to basically go to his little, place of staying. Or at least the place that he's going to be staying from now on. Apparently, that place is going to be Amber's house. Yeah, oh boy, this is going to be some fun times. Oh god. So, after arriving at Amber's place, he would see that Amber is pretty much happy about it. As she would say this. Hey, Izuku, as he would say this. What is that, Amber? As she would say this. Well, because you're gonna be staying with me, well, I don't really have any guest bedrooms, and, most of the things that you usually sit on are mostly chairs, so you're gonna be sleeping in my bed, or at least in my room. She would say with a, kind of a, silly face. As Izuku would say this. Ah, fine, guess I'll be staying with you. He would say with a, a exhausted sigh. So, arriving at his destination, he would go into, Amber's bed. After, going down on it, or at least, basically laying down on it, you would see that Amber is basically wearing pajamas. As she would say this. Are you going to change? As Izuku is basically just wearing, he's just not wearing his jacket, and he's just wearing little shorts that he got from, a little pantry. Not really pantry, more like, how do I say this? Which he, got from, her little, closet. Apparently, that used to be her father's, pants before he, let's just say, left to go get some milk. Yeah, I don't really remember about, Amber's whole origin and also about her parents, so let's just say her father just went out to go get some milk. Let's just say that. So, after putting on the pants, he would basically start to, go onto the bed as he would start to, sleep. After he fully falls asleep, Amber would say this. Good night. She would say as she would go onto the bed, as she would basically, hug Izuku in a tight embrace. As she would say this. Hope to see you in the morning, she would basically say. As she would basically start to giggle to herself, as she would basically give Izuku a pretty deep kiss on the, cheek. And so she would fall asleep as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be leaving this episode right off here. So yeah, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!